Welcome to Step 6 of the Clarity tutorial. In this segment, we'll show you how to set up actions and milestones inside Clarity. Make sure and take a look at Step 5 if you need a little more understanding on how this section works. Let's get started. Go to clarity-crm.com. Enter your login information and let's go to the home page. On Clarity's main page, select the Home tab on the left side of your screen. Under the Home tab, there's a Manage menu item at the top. Expand the Manage tab by selecting it and then click on Actions and Milestones. The Manage Pipeline screen is where the primary user will establish the workflow model that mirrors how they do their business process from beginning to end. Here we have 3 milestones ready to work with. A new milestone bucket that will be the starting place for all your new leads. Attempting to contact once you have an initial action implemented. Lastly, we have contacted. Of course, this represents those leads that you have started a conversation with. There are no actions associated with these yet, but we'll set those up in a few. For this example, we need to add at least one more milestone or bucket to show clients with completed transactions to logically finish out this workflow model. Click New Milestone at the top, and let's see what this looks like. Let's name the new milestone Completed. You can choose a color for the title if you'd like. We chose blue for this example to show you the difference. If no color is selected, it defaults to black. Now click Add Milestone and then click Close. You should now see 4 milestone buckets. Here's what's going on with this basic setup. This will show a bucket or milestone for new clients and how they will transition to the attempting contact milestone once a user attempts the first call. After the initial contact, the client will transition to the contacted milestone, and we're assuming they're an active client at this point. Once that transaction is completed, an action is taken, and it moves the client to the completed milestone. This is a very basic setup, but it still has amazing possibilities within Clarity and the marketing that you can do for these 4 milestones. Next, we need to set up action steps. These actions will dictate when a client moves from one milestone to the next. You'll start seeing this workflow model come together once these actions are added. Click on the New Action button inside the New Milestone bucket. Let's add 3 actions: attempting to contact, contacted, and completed. After each entry, click Add Action, and then when you're finished, click Close. Here is what the first milestone box looks like with the new action statements listed inside the box. You will also notice that new options show up to the right. On the left of the newly listed action statements, there are check boxes. You have to check the boxes to activate those action steps. These action steps will show up in the drop-down boxes in the lead input screen for Clarity. I'll pull that up later and show you what that looks like. The up and down arrows here to the left are there in case you want to move the order of those actions within the milestone. Next, let's look at the Change Milestone section. Just to the right of the milestone box, here, again, are check boxes to activate these options. Then we move to the drop-down boxes. In this list are the 4 milestones that we have created in this example. What we're doing with this is choosing which bucket or milestone the lead will live in once a correlating action listed to the left is taken. So if there is an attempt to contact selected, the lead moves to the next milestone. If there is an actual contact made, then it moves to the contacted bucket instead of the attempting to contact bucket. Let's finish filling this out. Now, adding a check to the boxes to the immediate right are primarily used for basis of analysis and reporting. Remember the activity bar at the top of the home page? It's just a good way to see how you and your team is doing throughout the day. So simply put a check in the box that qualifies this action as a contact attempt and/or a contact made. For now, we're going to skip over the qualifier sections next to this. This has a lot more to do with advanced reporting options. If you have those types of needs, contact support, and we should also have other supporting videos soon. Let's jump to the Comment and Calendar Required section here at the end. When an action step is taken, you have the option to require a comment to be made before the lead can be closed. For example, if a client cannot commit now to an agreement, you may want to know why so you can address this or refresh your memory later. This is where the Calendar Event Required option comes in handy as well. So in this case, it looks like we're setting up a comment requirement and a calendar event requirement. These are just actions to help you and your team work your business model and manage a level of best practices with a higher level of unity and performance. It ultimately helps make everyone more efficient. For the sake of time, I've completed the other milestones, actions, and marked the appropriate boxes. You see how we've added the action statements to each milestone? We also checked off the activation boxes to the left of each option and required a few more comments and calendar events on some. This is just an example of how this might flow in a basic setting. Your business model may have other segues. For instance, you might have clients that require a service or others that require a product. The milestone list can be added to and or arranged to accommodate your needs, as simple or as complex as you need. This example is done for now. Let's go back to the home page and click New Lead from the shortcut buttons at the top of the page and look at the drop-down list in the action bar. It should contain the actions we have created for the new milestone bucket. Just to reiterate what happens, when a new lead is contacted, the user will select Contacted under the action bar at the top of the lead and then press Perform Action. This will take the lead out of the new lead bucket or milestone and transfer it to the contacted milestone. Remember, we talked about this analogy in step 5. This action will also require a comment about what is going on with this transaction. It will also require a calendar event to be scheduled for a follow-up call so that the sale is satisfied and a new client is not missed. That's it for this section. Let's move on to step 7, which is about adding tabs to the home screen. These tabs will correlate to these milestones we've just created for a quick view of the clients in those buckets. Please feel free to contact support with additional questions, and thank you for building your network with clarity.